Have you ever considered the role of coincidences in our lives? Let's start with a pair of presidents. Picture this: two leaders, Abraham Lincoln and John F. Kennedy, both elected to office exactly 100 years apart. Lincoln in 1860, Kennedy in 1960. Both men tragically assassinated while in the prime of their presidencies. But the coincidences don't stop there. Each president was succeeded by a man named Johnson, both of whom were born a century apart, and the eerie similarities continue to ripple through their lives. Lincoln had a secretary named Kennedy who warned him not to go to the theater. Kennedy had a secretary named Lincoln who warned him not to go to Dallas. These uncanny parallels between two of America's most revered presidents are nothing short of bewildering. Could it be mere chance, or is there a pattern we're yet to decipher? Moving on, let's delve into the mysterious realm of twins. Twins, particularly those separated at birth, often lead lives that are eerily similar, despite having no contact with each other. Take, for instance, the famous case of Jim Lewis and Jim Springer. Separated at birth, they were reunited at the age of 39, only to discover a plethora of uncanny likenesses in their lives. Both had dogs named Toy, married women named Linda, divorced, and then remarried women named Betty. Their sons, both named James Allen. Their careers, both worked in law enforcement. Their hobbies, both loved carpentry. These instances of startling synchronicity raise eyebrows and questions alike. Is it mere coincidence, or is there a deeper, unseen connection that binds twins together, even when they're miles apart? It's a thought that stirs the pot of mystery and keeps us wondering about the enigmatic nature of life. Twins may share DNA, but can they also share destinies? Next, we have a tale that is almost too strange to believe. Our journey takes us to the curious case of an avid collector who spent years amassing an array of items linked to the legendary author Edgar Allan Poe. From first editions to personal letters, this collector had an array of artifacts that would turn any Poe enthusiast green with envy. But then, the unbelievable happened. Among the treasures, the collector discovered a lock of hair. Not just any hair, but strands that were once part of the melancholic mane of Poe himself. The collector had unknowingly possessed this intimate piece of the author, a relic hidden amongst the trove of collected items. Imagine the surprise, the shock, the eerie delight of finding such an artifact within your collection. It's an uncanny coincidence, don't you think? Or could it be something more? Could this be a case of attraction, or a manifestation of obsession? From literature to reality, sometimes the line seems to blur. Let's delve into a particularly uncanny occurrence. In the late 19th century, author Morgan Robertson penned a novel, Futility, which featured a mighty ship called the Titan. This ship, deemed unsinkable by its creators, tragically found its end at the bottom of the North Atlantic after colliding with an iceberg. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? Fast forward to the early 20th century and we have the real-life Titanic, a colossal vessel touted as unsinkable, meeting a strikingly similar fate in almost identical circumstances. The parallels are eerie, from the names of the ships, the details of the disasters, to the hubris of man in believing they could conquer nature. The question arises, did Robertson's novel foresee a disaster waiting to happen? Or was it simply a chilling case of life imitating art? The line between fiction and reality, it seems, can often be disturbingly thin. Now, let's explore the darker side of coincidences. Imagine surviving a deadly accident, a brush with death that leaves you with a second chance at life. You carry on, grateful, only to later face an eerily similar circumstance. This time, however, you're not as fortunate. Sounds like a grim plot twist in a thriller, doesn't it? However, for some, this is a haunting reality. Take the case of a man who miraculously survived a horrific car crash, only to lose his life years later in another car accident. The circumstances uncannily alike. Or consider a woman who narrowly escaped a deadly fire in her home, only to perish in a similar blaze years later. These instances pose a chilling question. Is it a cruel twist of fate, a pattern woven by the threads of destiny, or is it merely a tragic coincidence? Does death have a design, or are these tragic repeats just chance? Sometimes beauty hides a curse. The Hope Diamond, An exquisite gem of rare blue hue is an epitome of this sentiment. The stone carries with it a legacy of misfortune and tragedy that has spanned generations. Its tale begins in the 17th century when it was plucked from the Golconda mines of India. From there it has passed through the hands of kings and commoners alike, each owner falling prey to an alleged curse. King Louis XVI and Marie Antoinette, who once possessed the diamond, met their demise at the guillotine. Another owner, a wealthy American socialite, saw her entire family fall into ruin. Tragedy seemed to shadow those who held the diamond, from sudden bankruptcy to untimely death. But is it truly the diamond's curse? Or is it a string of unfortunate events, coincidences, that we are attributing to a beautiful gem? Is this a curse, or are we simply connecting unrelated dots? Next, we look at the extraordinary power of chance encounters. Let's delve into the fascinating world of seemingly random meetings that later reveal astonishing links or overlapping pasts. Picture this. Two strangers meet on a train, strike up a conversation, and find out they share the same birthday. Intriguing, right? What if they also discover they were both adopted and their biological mothers share the same name? The odds are astronomical. Or consider the tale of two hikers on a remote trail. They get to talking and realize they both attended the same small elementary school, thousands of miles away at the same time. The world suddenly seems incredibly small, doesn't it? These accidental encounters, brimming with unexpected connections and shared histories, defy the laws of probability and leave us questioning the nature of coincidence. Can these encounters be chalked up to mere coincidence, or is there a greater force at play? Next, we venture into the world of music and mystery. An eerie pattern emerges as we delve into the lives and untimely deaths of some of the most iconic figures in the music industry. A group known as the 27 Club. This seemingly cursed club includes legendary musicians who met their untimely demise at the young age of just 27. First, we have Jimi Hendrix, a rock and roll icon, followed by the soulful Janis Joplin, both of whom tragically passed in the same year. Fast forward a couple of decades, and we encounter Kurt Cobain, the voice of grunge, who too fell prey to this macabre pattern. And then, the talented Amy Winehouse, whose voice echoed the blues and jazz greats of the past, joined this tragic club in the 21st century. These artists, all gone too soon, all at the same age, beg the question, is this a coincidence or is there something darker at work? Finally, let's take to the skies. Picture this. The year is 1903. Orville and Wilbur Wright are on the cusp of making history, tinkering away at their invention in the sands of Kitty Hawk. In the midst of their determination and innovation, an ironic twist of fate is unfolding. On the very same day, halfway around the world, a notable scientist is making a bold proclamation. He confidently declares that humans will never achieve flight. As his words echo in lecture halls, the Wright brothers are preparing for liftoff. The engine roars to life, the propellers spin, and the aircraft takes flight. The impossible becomes reality, proving the skeptics wrong in the most spectacular way. This uncanny coincidence serves as a testament to the power of determination and ingenuity. So, was this a case of perfect timing or an instance of proving the skeptics wrong? Perhaps it's a bit of both, a peculiar blend of coincidence and defiance that makes this moment all the more remarkable.